Meanwhile, with all this going on, he posted up a storm on Truth Social this week, and he covered a range of topics from Biden and his auto pen to photos of his new ballroom. He bragged about getting the key to the city of Miami. He raged about the price of beef. He plugged his son Eric's book. He bashed Nancy Pelosi. He complained about voter ID. And we learned he's trying to get the NFL to name a stadium after him.
Nikki Haley has launched a series of campaign ads targeting both Donald Trump and Joe Biden called Grumpy Old Men. Okay, but at least they're men.
Jimmy Kimmel and Michael Chi tag team a roast so brutal, Trump might need emotional bubble wrap just to finish the night. Kimmel fires off rapid-speed jokes like he's chasing a world record, while Chi lands punchlines sharper than a tax audit. The crowd loses it, the stage shakes, and even the furniture looks ready to walk out. Stick around, this hilarious meltdown is the chaotic energy you didn't know you were missing.
You know what they got? They got a promise from Republicans in the Senate to hold a vote on health care sometime in the future. And if there's one thing we know about Trump and his merry band of sycophants, it's that their word is as good as gold. Trump reportedly wants the Washington Commanders to give him naming rights to their new stadium. Why would anyone ever want to name anything after Don? I mean, look at Don Jr. It's not exactly a winning strategy.
Volodymyr Zelensky has said that if President Trump provides Ukraine with Tomahawk missiles, he will nominate Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, the prize they give you for selling missiles.
Imagine Trump settling in for a calm night, only to find Jimmy Kimmel and Michael Chi Lee and unintentionally turning him into the comedic equivalent of a piñata stuffed with overdue bills. The universe clearly had jokes prepared.
Everything he touched was a loser. Trump hasn't been this embarrassed since he found out there was a Donald Trump Jr. But don't worry. If you're tired of all the losing, fear not. He's got an excuse. In fact, he's got two of them. He wrote, Trump wasn't on the ballot and shutdown were the two reasons that Republicans lost elections tonight. Now, if Republicans had won and he wasn't on the ballot, would he take credit for that? Oh, yes, he definitely would.
One moment he's minding his business, debating which shade of orange screams leadership. And the next, he's getting verbally drop-kicked from two directions, like the universe accidentally double-booked a comedy audit just for him.
The alleged drug smuggling boat from Venezuela has been blown out of the water without warning. And you may not think that's a big deal right now, but one day soon, you'll look at yourself in the mirror and realize you're out of cocaine. President Trump criticized Time magazine for using a bad picture of him on the cover, saying, quote, "They disappeared my hair." And I gotta agree, that thing do look waxed.
The first blast comes from Kimmel, who's perfected the art of smiling sweetly while delivering lines so sharp they could make a stone statue pause, blink, and rethink its entire existence.
They got a promise from Republicans in the Senate to hold a vote on health care sometime in the future. And if there's one thing we know about Trump and his merry band of sycophants, it's that their word is as good as gold.
It's that perfect flavor of amusement that says, I'm not mad, this is just too fascinating to ignore. Kimmel will highlight something Trump said or did, raise one eyebrow, and suddenly the entire internet is debating whether they're watching performance art, political commentary, or the slowest reality show meltdown ever televised. Then, as if the universe insists on comedic balance, Michael Che steps in from his own corner with jokes that feel like someone wrapped a sledgehammer in velvet and said, "Here, this should soften the impact." Che specializes in that baffled, deadpan delivery that makes you wonder whether he genuinely can't believe the words he's saying, or if he simply ran out of ways to pretend any of this makes logical sense. That tone hits Trump's antics like a precision-guided roast missile. He'll casually recount something Trump said, staring into the distance like he's trying to decode hieroglyphs carved in spray tan. Trump, meanwhile, continues to exist in a self-contained ecosystem of competence and environment, powered by unlimited self-praise, bold decisions of varying wisdom, and the belief that any issue can be fixed with a bigger, bolder signature together. Kimmel and Che don't just roast him, they map the chaos with comedic accuracy.
Of the nearly 100 Trump nominees confirmed by the Senate, only 2 of them were black. 2 black people out of 100? I mean, what is this, my Tinder matches? President Biden on Friday told reporters that he had no comment on Trump's indictment, and then he danced away like the Six Flags guy.
Watching Kimmel and Che react to Trump's ecosystem separately is like watching two scientists stumble upon the same strange plant and debate whether it's poisonous, sentient, or simply confused. Kimmel approaches the absurdity with the energy of someone filming a nature documentary but refusing to keep a straight face. He slices through Trump's chaos with the precision of a chef cutting fruit midair, delivering commentary so sharp it makes you question why satire even pretends to be subtle anymore. Che, meanwhile, handles Trump like a man reluctantly drafted to explain the unbelievable to a crowd of skeptics. He doesn't shout, wave his arms, or dramatize the moment. He just drops a joke with the calm, resigned shrug of someone who knows the absurdity already speaks for itself. His delivery makes it feel like he's translating nonsense into comedy out of pure survival instinct. And that's the real beauty here. They're not teaming up, coordinating scripts, or secretly plotting a two-front roast. There's no crossover special or synchronized punchline. They're simply two comedic forces glancing in Trump's direction during the same week. The result? A glorious accidental. Double-barreled commentary barrage Trump definitely didn't request, but absolutely earned.
On November 10th, 1983, under Ronald Reagan, they shut down the government. It lasted for 3 full days. Can you imagine the government being shut down for 3 days? Here in the present, we are on day 41 of the Trump government shutdown. Democrats refuse to sign on to a bill that would force millions of Americans off their health care and make it much more expensive for those who can't afford health care. So Democrats drew a line in the sand. They said, we are not going over this. And today, after 41 days, they pulled out a shovel and a bucket and they ate all that sand.
Picture Trump scrolling through headlines, fully convinced he's the heroic main character of an epic saga. He brushes it off at first. It's fine, he thinks. Just Jimmy being Jimmy. But then, sensing the universe might be plotting against him, he scrolls again. Suddenly, Michael Che appears, dissecting Trump's behavior with that perfect blend of disbelief and amusement. At this point, you can almost imagine Trump staring blankly at the screen, wondering if his TV has joined some coordinated comedic rebellion. Kimmel's humor feels like a gentle lob of controlled chaos, a slow, spiraling toss that still manages to land with the force of 100 rhetorical bricks. He smiles, laughs, gestures like an excited kid, and casually exposes details Trump probably prayed would slip under the radar. And the best part, Kimmel doesn't need to exaggerate. Reality is already doing half the work for him. Che, on the other hand, lets his jokes simmer. They drift out with the calm acceptance of a man who fully understands the universe is absurd and is simply helping the rest of us cope. When Che comments on Trump, it feels like he's narrating a bizarre wildlife documentary he stumbled upon at 3 a.m. Something like, observe this rare creature in its natural habitat, making decisions that confuse scientists worldwide. Together, unintentionally, they create a 1-2 punch of comedic clarity Trump never asked for but absolutely set himself up for.
Plans to come to New York on Tuesday to protest Trump's indictment because apparently it takes her 3 days to put on her Joker makeup. Felonies, lead the free world and be the president of the United States. That's it. I'm listening to R. Kelly again. I already do, but I'm gonna stop pretending I don't. If white people can elect their felons, I can dance to mine.
Both comedians end up painting Trump as a character who seems ripped straight out of a surreal sketch comedy universe. Whether he's announcing plans that sound like late-night infomercial pitches or making declarations with the unwavering confidence of a man who has never second-guessed a single thought in his life. Trump provides endless raw material, and Kimmel and Che independently spin that material into commentary. Like two chefs competing to see who can create the spiciest dish from the same bizarre ingredients. Number meeting. No tag team strategies to comedians catching Trump in the wild and thinking, each in their own style. Oh, absolutely not. I need to talk about this immediately. It's almost poetic, like to meteorologists warning viewers about the same incoming storm. Except this particular storm is wearing a suit and arguing with teleprompters. Kimmel's style often feels like a polite intervention hosted by someone who emotionally checked out 3 minutes earlier. He'll describe a Trump moment, pause long enough for the audience to brace themselves, and then drop a comparison so outrageously specific, it loops back around to being accurate. His humor doesn't try to tame the chaos. It simply points at it and says, "Look at this." No, seriously, look again. Che's commentary, by contrast, has the energy of a man who walked into a room, heard one sentence of Trump's monologue, and immediately regretted leaving his house. His jokes land with quiet, resigned disbelief, as though he's narrating the world's strangest documentary and trying to process it in real time. Together, without ever coordinating, they form a perfect, accidental, double roast Trump definitely didn't anticipate, but fully earned now.
He lost, and then he posted this. He posted, "And so it begins," which was either a response to Mamdani winning the mayoral race, or he just sat down on the toilet. I don't know. And so it begins. And so what begins? I mean, seriously, what is that supposed to mean? What would motivate him to post "and so it begins" at almost midnight? What would compel him to contact his social media guy, Dan Scavino, that late at night to say, "Dan, I need you to post "and so it begins"?
His jokes carry that rare, exhausted brilliance that only emerges when someone is so baffled by reality they have no choice but to laugh. The magic lies in how different their approaches are. Kimmel wields the gleeful chaos of a carnival barker, turning absurdity into spectacle, while Che relies on the dry, deadpan wit of someone who has witnessed too much together, but not actually together. Together, they form a comedic echo chamber around Trump, amplifying every bizarre decision with an added layer of disbelief. Ever ready to declare victory over anything, including invisible enemies, would likely claim they're just jealous of his charisma, intelligence, or his uncanny ability to stretch any press moment into a multi-episode saga. The truth is simpler. Kimmel and Che see him like people see a raccoon rummaging through a dumpster. Not malicious, not brilliant, just fully committed to whatever he's doing. Consequences be damned. Now imagine Trump watching Kimmel muttering about unfairness, only to flip the channel and catch Che dissecting the same antics with measured disbelief. What started as a quiet evening morphs into a relentless comedy gauntlet he never signed up for. Each punchline lands like a reminder. No one navigates absurdity quite like Trump, but even he can't escape the uncoordinated, double-barreled roast of Kimmel and Che.net.
Report shows that after Donald Trump was elected, the wealth of the world's 10 richest people grew by more than $60 billion. Yep, the richest people immediately got richer. But don't worry, I'm sure yours is coming soon, Earl. Amazon is planning to donate $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration. It makes sense because Amazon and Trump both want to ship stuff out as fast as possible. Donald Trump's inauguration ceremony has been moved inside the Capitol building. Hey, just like last time.
He probably wonders if Kimmel and Che coordinated. They didn't. Trump's actions are simply the gift that keeps on giving. The transitions between their points of view feel like flipping channels between two distinct genres of humor, one playful, one deadpan, both aimed squarely at the swirling tornado of contradictions that define his public persona. The result is an accidental masterclass in comedic synchronicity. Trump speaks, the world reacts, and two comedians independently choose to roast the moment, while viewers sit back with popcorn, marveling at how fate occasionally delivers double features for free. Kimmel delights in spotlighting Trump's flair for exaggeration, treating every impossible claim like a rare gemstone that deserves inspection. He breaks it down, questions it, occasionally gazing into the distance, as if reconsidering humanity's collective life choices. Trump's bravado becomes a carnival float under Kimmel's lens, big, loud, impossible to ignore, and packed with surprises. Che, in contrast, treats Trump's antics like a philosophical puzzle. He examines them with that signature puzzled smirk, silently asking, "This can't possibly be real." His humor often feels like an existential meditation disguised as a punchline, a calm guide through the absurdity. Trump's original moment has been dissected, roasted, puzzled over, exaggerated, minimized, and transformed into a cultural artifact, not because the comedians collaborated, but because Trump, through sheer eccentricity, creates material so wild and consistent that it demands commentary from every comedic direction, playful or deadpan.
Now, obviously, we have in fairness, we have different perspectives on the job the president is doing. Some people believe Trump has accomplished a lot. And so in the interest of that, in fairness and balance, we will let the president himself make the case for whether or not he is making America great over the last 100 days.
The first of these is an executive order. The Biden administration launched what you've called a war on showers.
I like to take a nice shower to take care of my beautiful hair.
This is an executive order relating to the use of...
Perhaps the most amusing part is how each comedian manages to make Trump feel like a character in an entirely different story. In Kimmel's version, he's a flamboyant chaos engine, powering a reality-adjacent universe. In Che's version, he's a walking, talking plot twist, constantly testing the limits of logic and patience. Watching them independently transform Trump into a comedic spectacle is mesmerizing. There's no joint performance, no collaborative mission, no shared plunge to humor masters. Reacting to a man whose public statements practically require warning labels by the end of the week, Trump has been roasted twice over on one channel, with Kimmel's joyful, carnival-like zest, and on another, with Che's dry, bewildered analysis. Kimmel laughs as though narrating a circus, highlighting every absurd exaggeration and impossible claim. Che, meanwhile, sighs like he's decoding alien transmissions, calmly dissecting each moment with a mix of disbelief and philosophical resignation. He keeps being Trump-undaunted, unfiltered, and providing endless material for anyone with a microphone and a sense of humor. If nothing else, this overlapping comedic chaos proves one thing: Trump's ability to generate headline-worthy moments is so unstoppable that even if every comedian were locked in separate soundproof rooms, they'd still end up roasting the same moment within 48 hours. This isn't collaboration, it's gravitational pull, a natural force of comedy that surrounds him wherever he goes.
Election Day falls on Martin Luther King Day. And if Dr. King were alive today, I bet Trump would walk right up to him and say, "Oh snap, it's Ben Carson." He doesn't know who they are. Trump's inauguration day falls on Martin Luther King Day. And if Dr. King were alive today, I bet Trump would walk right up to him and say, "Oh snap, it's Ben Carson." We'll also honor Bill Clinton by being covered in semen.
As long as Trump keeps delivering material with the energy of a plot twist nobody saw coming, Kimmel and Che will keep launching their separate comedic missiles into the void. The rest of us get to sit back, enjoy the spectacle, and marvel at the accidental entertainment ecosystem that emerges whenever Trump utters, well, pretty much anything. That's the true brilliance of this phenomenon. Trump tosses out statements, claims, or ideas that feel like fever dream inventions. And without coordination, two comedians miles apart end up treating them like the world's most baffling group project. It's not a planned effort, not a shared mission, just pure organic disbelief from multiple directions. Kimmel reacts like someone who can't believe the circus is still touring, highlighting every absurdity with gleeful chaos and childlike enthusiasm. Che, by contrast, approaches it like someone who wandered into the circus by accident and refuses to leave until he fully decodes the madness. Using deadpan wit to dissect the same material with calm disbelief, and Trump, ever confident, he marches forward as though providing a masterclass in greatness, inadvertently feeding two separate comedy ecosystems that thrive on chaos. Each headline becomes a double feature: Kimmel's playful, carnival-like roast, followed by Che's analytical, puzzled punchlines. With Trump supplying endless plot twists, the comedians don't need coordination, they just need popcorn. And we get to witness one of the most organically hilarious phenomena in modern media.